Hello, everyone, and welcome to the YA book quiz. So we have some really fun questions lined up for you today, but first we're going to wait for people to slowly come in, for everyone to get ready, get comfy. I am Sona from the YouTube channel Books and Quills, and in the chat we have Caroline from the YA Book Prize, who will be there to help you and talk you through everything as well. So she'll be there in the chat. So while we're waiting for people to arrive, do let us know what your name is, where you're from, what town or what country, and which book you're reading at the moment. And so we're just going to wait for a few people to arrive before we get into the questions and the rules as well. Okay, so while we're waiting for people to arrive, let us know what your name is and what you're reading at the moment. I know there's always a slight delay on the chat, so I always kind of have to wait and see what everyone is saying. I think it's like 30 seconds afterwards. We're just going to wait for a few people to gather before we start with all the questions. Let's see what else I can tell you about so far. So the winner of the YA Book Prize will be announced on May 6th, so next week, very soon. And there will also be a special event at Hay on June 1st with Sarah Crossan and the winner. We're also celebrating Mallory Blackman. Next week, there will be videos, and she's getting the Special Achievement Award for the Knots and Crosses series. And we also have an Instagram giveaway going. Today is the last time you can enter for that. We're just going to wait for a few more people to arrive, and then we will start with the rules and start with the questions. Oh, we've got Shannon is here from Ireland. Perfect. Thanks for joining us. I hope you have your pen and paper ready. I think we'll be starting in about 5 minutes, just waiting for a few people to arrive. So if you want to go grab a drink, you have time. All right, if anyone else is here, let us know what your name is and what you're reading at the moment and where you're from, because we'd love to know everyone that's joining in. By the way, there will be 3 rounds to this quiz. So if you come in later, you can join in later as well. You can join in with each round. The first round is going to be the YA Book Prize 2021 shortlist, like that's going to be the theme. Then for round number 2, we're gonna have questions from the Northern YA Literary Festival, and the theme is UKYA. And then the last round, which might be my personal favorite, is the numbers round. So all the questions for that the answer will be a number. There will be some multiple choice because some of them are quite difficult. Hi, Gabby. Gabby has joined as well from England. Thanks for joining. Just gonna hang on for a few more minutes to wait for people to arrive, and then we're gonna get into the quiz. For those of you who are already here, I'd also love to know how many books from the shortlist you've read so far and which one you are planning on reading next. Okay, so anyone who's just joined, please introduce yourself if you'd like to with your name and where you're from and what you're reading at the moment, and get your pen ready. We're about to start. I'm about to start with the rules, so you are just in time. Okay, so I think I'm going to quickly run you through the rules. And then I'll do one last round of announcements for everyone that's just come in. The rules are pretty simple. Don't put your answers in the chat. No swearing, no spoilers for the books in the chat, and have fun. That's the rules. We're not playing for a prize tonight. We are playing for points, and hopefully you can all share at the end how many points you got. And is there anything else? Oh yeah, if you haven't entered the giveaway yet on Instagram, the deadline is tonight, and you can win the full YA book prize shortlist for this year. So it's a pretty good prize. So make sure that you enter there, which is just on the YA Book Prize Instagram. Lovely. Let's see what we've got in the chat. Shannon says, hasn't read any of them yet, but adores Meg Rossoff and has bought 8 Pieces of Silver. That's great. Okay, I think we might be ready for the first question. I will repeat the questions at the end quickly as well for anyone who's missed for the first round, and we're going to do it round by round. So we'll do the 10 questions first, and then the 10 answers to that, and then we'll go to the next round. Okay, is everyone ready for question number 1? So for this round, the theme is the shortlist, this year's shortlist of the YA Book Prize. And there's 10 questions and there's 10 shortlisted books. So each answer will be either the book title or the author name. And each of the books will be mentioned once, if that makes sense. So you can do this by process of elimination if there's a few that you don't know, because some of the questions are quite tricky. And for this round, you are also allowed to have the YA Book Prize shortlist on hand. You can Google what the shortlist is. That is not cheating. That is allowed for this round. All right, let me know if you have any questions. And if not, I am going to get started. Okay, let's go. Question. Oh yeah, and also if you come in later and miss any of it, you can obviously see the questions in the chat as well. Okay, question number 1. Which 2 books on the YA Book Prize 2021 shortlist include the characters preparing to perform Shakespeare plays? So in this case, there is actually 2 answers. So one book does get a bit of an extra mention. But yeah, so the first question is, which 2 books on the YA Book Prize 2021 shortlist include the characters preparing to perform Shakespeare plays? So there's actually 2 points to be gotten for this question if you get both of those right. Okay, so write those answers down and then we'll get to the answers later. Question number 2. Which of the shortlisted books has Queen by Janelle Monáe, Mr. Blue Sky by the Electric Light Orchestra, and Singularity by BST on the playlist for the book? Now, this is a tricky one if you haven't read the book, so this might involve some guessing potentially. So I'll do that one more time. Which of the shortlisted books has Queen by Janelle Monáe, Mr. Blue Sky by the Electric Light Orchestra, and Singularity by BST on the playlist for the book? I'll give you some time in between questions to think about it. All right, so question number 3 of round 1. Which of this year's shortlisted authors is an ordained minister? We asked all the shortlisted authors to send in some interesting facts about themselves, and this is one of them. So question 3, which of this year's shortlisted authors is an ordained minister? Do let me know if I'm going too fast and if you need more time in between the questions. All right, ready for question 4? So, round 1, question 4. Which book on the shortlist has Fahrenheit 451, the Old Kingdom series, and Brokeback Mountain as similar recommended reads? So which book on the shortlist has Fahrenheit 451, the Old Kingdom series, and Brokeback Mountain as similar recommended reads? So which of the titles has some things in common with those 3? If you are joining in the middle of a round, by the way, you can see the questions in the chat, so you can still start answering those and try and gather all your points. Okay, I think we're going to go to question 5. Which of the shortlisted authors studied set design for a summer? So which of the shortlisted authors studied set design for a summer? If you've read this book, you might be able to guess it. There's probably a few options for this, but there is only one correct answer. All right, quick break after 5 questions. How do we think we're doing? Let us know in the chat how you're doing so far. How confident are you in your answers? But no answers in the chat, please. That was me dropping my phone. All right, I think we're ready to move on to question 6. Gabby says, I can say with confidence that I'm not doing very well. That's okay. You'll get a bit of time after this round as well to match up any of the titles that you've missed so far, and we'll see how everyone does. Okay, question number 6 from round number 1. Which shortlisted author would like to cast John Boyega in the film adaptation of their book? So question number 6, which shortlisted author would like to cast John Boyega in a film adaptation of their book? I always like asking this question to authors because some authors have the whole list ready to go. They know exactly what their fan cast would be for their own book. And some authors think it's too hard to think of something like that, and they don't really want to. So they don't have any clear answers. But yeah, I always love when an author has a full list of actors, basically, that they would love to cast in an adaptation. Okay, question number 7. Reminder, you're allowed to have the shortlisted titles up on your screen for this round, so you can mix and match for the questions, but no further Googling, of course. Okay, 7 from round 1. Which of this year's shortlisted authors has a new puppy called Dexter? And the hint is in the name of the puppy. So it's something that kind of matches the theme that this author writes about. So 7, which of this year's shortlisted authors has a new puppy called Dexter? And the hint is in the name. Okay, question number 8 from round 1. Which of this year's shortlisted authors danced in the opening ceremony of the 2002 Commonwealth Games in Manchester? Which of this year's shortlisted authors danced in the opening ceremony of the 2002 Commonwealth Games in Manchester? Which author of the shortlisted authors do you think would be a good dancer? Okay, 2 more questions left in this round. So the next one is number 9. Which of the shortlisted books has similar vibes to the 2005 TV show Sugar Rush, according to its author? If you haven't seen this show, I haven't actually seen it, you can use the title of the show to make your best guess. So number 9, which of the shortlisted books has similar vibes to the 2005 TV show Sugar Rush, according to its author? Okay. Question number 10 of round number 1. Which of the authors wrote a play when they were 15? Hold on, let me quickly adjust this. Which of the authors wrote a play when they were 15 about a woman who took on the personality of whatever pair of shoes she was wearing? So which of the authors wrote a play when sorry, I misspelled that. When they were 15 about a woman who took on the personality of whatever pair of shoes she was wearing? So which of the authors do you think was a playwright at 15? All right, and that is it for round number 1, the first 10 questions. I'm going to give you a little moment to look at these again. So the questions are in the chat if you want to look at them again. If you want me to read any of them again, let me know. But basically, each book/author will be mentioned once. So if you have any missing bits, you can kind of see which books or authors you've already mentioned and fill in the gaps there. And then we're almost ready, I think, to read the answers of that. If you want to guess out of 11 points, how many do you think you got? You can leave that in the chat. Okay. I think I'm going to start reading the answers. I'll tell you how many points all of these are worth. Most of them are just worth 1 point. But you have to keep track for yourself, obviously. Okay, so answer 1. So the first question was, I'm going to just reread the question so we have it all in combination. Which 2 books on the YA Book Prize 2021 shortlist include the characters preparing to perform Shakespeare plays? So the answers for this are The Great Godden and Loveless. So if you got one of those, you can get 1 point. If you got both of them, you can get 2 points. Gabby thinks they've got a maximum of 1 right, and Shannon says hopefully 5. Well, we can see how you did on question 1. So it's the Great Godden and Loveless for 2 points in total. Okay, question number 2. Which of the shortlisted books has Queen by Janelle Monáe, Mr. Blue Sky by the Electric Light Orchestra, and Singularity by BSD on the playlist for the book? And the answer is 8 Pieces of Silva by Patrice Lawrence. Number 3. Which of this year's shortlisted authors is an ordained minister? And the answer is Melinda Salisbury, Hold Back the Tide. Number 4. Which book on the shortlist has Fahrenheit 451, the Old Kingdom series, and Brokeback Mountain as similar recommended reads? And that was, of course, Wranglestone by Darren Charlton. Okay, we got number 3. Excellent. Okay, next, number 5. Which of the shortlisted authors studied set design for a summer? And the answer to that is Alice Oseman, the author of Loveless. Number 6. Which shortlisted author would like to cast John Boyega in a film adaptation of their book? That is Alex Wheatle, author of Cane Warriors. Next up, number 7. Which of this year's shortlisted authors has a new puppy called Dexter? The hint is in the name. This is probably my favorite question, actually. The answer is Holly Jackson, author of Good Girl, Bad Blood. Okay, then next, question 8. Which of this year's shortlisted authors danced in the opening ceremony of the 2002 Commonwealth Games in Manchester? And the answer to that is Danielle Jawando, the author of And the Stars Were Burning Brightly. Number 9. Which of the shortlisted books has similar vibes to the 2005 TV show Sugar Rush, according to its author? And that is Melt My Heart by Bethany Rutter. And finally, number 10. Which of the authors wrote a play when they were 5 when they were 5, that would be even more impressive, when they were 15, about a woman who took on the personality of whatever pair of shoes she was wearing? And if you've answered the rest of the questions, you will know which book is left. And that is Laura Wood, author of A Snowfall of Silver. Okay, so if you got all of those right, including if you got the 2 for the first one, you can get 11 points in total. So I would love to hear how you've done so far. And then we're going to move to the second round, which will be UK YA themed. And the questions have been submitted by the Northern YA Literary Festival. Gabby got 3. Listen, there is no right or wrong points. And also this is hard if for some of them, even if you've read the book, you wouldn't know the answer to these questions because they are the fun facts about the authors. And I like a quiz where you can't necessarily get everything right. And Shannon got 4. All right, we're gonna go to round number 2. We've had a few new people joined us, so just a quick recap. We're doing this by round, so you can join in with every round. The questions will be in the chat as well. And this round, the theme is UK YA. Okay, is everyone ready for round number 2? The questions are around UK YA. The questions are a little bit different. So this is kind of unrelated to the YA shortlist. The answers can go all across UK YA, so think broadly. Okay, round 2, question 1. Actually, the first one is about the YA Book Prize, but we've got a mix. Name 3 winning authors of the YA Book Prize. This is for 3 points in total. You get 1 point for each. No Googling allowed for this round, obviously. No cheating. So just repeating the question, number 1, round 2, name 3 winning authors of the YA Book Prize. So previous winners. Okay, question number 2 of round 2. What is the name of the film released in March, which was adapted from a prize-winning YA dystopia and stars Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley? So question number 2, what is the name of the film released in March, which was adapted from a prize-winning YA dystopia and stars Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley? I have already seen it. That is all I will say because I don't want to give any further spoilers. Okay, are we ready for question 4? No, 3. Sorry, the wrong one was highlighted. Question 3. Okay, so for this round, we're doing emojis that represent a book title. You might have to think out of the box. You might have to think very literally. The emojis will also be in the chat, but I will be describing them because I can't show them to you right now. Okay, name the book. First emoji, a child. Second emoji, a zombie. Third emoji, a person with a magnifying glass. If you take those three emojis, what UK YA book title do they come to? This is a tricky one. Lex says, what if I can't think at all? You have to think very hard. You got to use every brain cell for this one. Okay. I'm going to give you a little bit of extra time for this because it's tricky. So we have child, zombie, and person with magnifying glass. What UK YA title does this come to? Okay. Question number 4. What is the second book in Mallory Blackman's Noughts and Crosses series? So question number 4, what is the second book in Mallory Blackman's Noughts and Crosses series? And then we're moving on to another emoji question, the last emoji question. All right, question number 5. Name the book from these 2 emojis, and I have to try hard to describe them in a way that doesn't actually say the title of the book. Okay, so emoji number 1, a steak. Emoji number 2, a building with a sign on it that says 24 hours. So we've got a steak, and oh, it's bigger. It's bigger in the chat, so it's easier to see. A steak and a building that says 24 hours on it. So again, these are quite literal, both the previous one and this one. You have to just really spell it out for yourself, say it out loud, and hopefully you'll get there. Okay, we're gonna go to 6. The Surface Breaks by Louise O'Neill is based on which Hans Christian Andersen story? So question 6 of round 2. Lex says the title. No answers in the chat, please. Okay, number 6. The Surface Breaks by Louise O'Neill is based on which Hans Christian Andersen story? All right. Question number 7. Netflix UK announced it had commissioned a live-action adaptation of which best-selling LGBTQ plus YA graphic novel series in January of this year. So question number 7 of round 2, Netflix UK announced it had commissioned a live-action adaptation of which best-selling LGBTQ plus YA graphic novel series in January of this year. If you've been following that news, you might have seen some very exciting updates on that recently. Okay, so I think this is going to be the hardest question of all the rounds. I don't think I would be able to get this, so be warned. This might be one that you want to think over for quite a while. So we're doing an anagram. So the following words, which will appear in the chat, but I'm going to read them out as well, and it'll make no sense, are an anagram for a UK YA book title and author. Here we go. Sick folk here store the fart feeler stare by Samuel Ginar, I'm going to say. So that's an anagram for quite a long UK YA book title. It'll be easier when you actually see it on the screen. Well, it's not going to be easier, but you get to do some puzzling. So I'm going to give you a good few seconds to work on that one. I usually try and tackle anagrams by just kind of blankly staring at them and seeing if the letters slowly start rearranging themselves. I kind of want to give extra points to whoever actually figures this one out. And remember, no Googling allowed. If anyone actually guessed this one, I'll be very, very impressed. Okay, I want to move on to the next question, but keep working on that anagram. Okay, what's the name of the YA anthology of stories and poetry by BAME writers, including Tanya Byrne, Katherine Johnson, and Nikesh Shukla, that was published by Little Tiger in 2017? Question 9, what's the name of the YA anthology of stories and poetry from BAME writers, including Tanya Byrne, Katherine Johnson, and Nikesh Shukla, that was published by Little Tiger in 2017? Oh, a good tip from the chat. Start with the author on the anagram. Okay. Question number 10, last one of the UKYA round. Which crime debut was the best-selling UK YA book in both 2019 and 2020? So question 10, which crime debut was the best-selling UK YA book in both 2019 and 2020? And that is the last question for this round. Just remind myself of how many points you can get for this round. So this has 12 points in total that you could get. So I'm just going to give you a few extra seconds to look at the anagram one last time for question 8, which was Sick Folk Here Store the Fart Feeler Stare by Samuel Ginar. Anyone got the anagram yet without posting it? Okay, I think we're ready to I think we're ready to go to the answers. So the anagram will be revealed shortly, although part of me wants to just not say that one yet so people can keep. Oh no, don't make me say it again. Okay. Sick Folk Here Store the Fart Feeler Stare by Samuel Ginar. That is the last time I'm going to say that anagram. Okay, we're going to go to the answers. Round 2. UKYA themed the answers. Here we go. Okay. Number 1, name 3 winning authors of the YA Book Prize for 3 points. So you get 1 point for each of the authors you got right. You don't get extra points if you do more than 3. You only get 3 points in total. Okay, so any 3 from the following list: Louisa Neal, Sarah Crossan, Patrice Lawrence, Will Hill, Sarah, oh, I never know how to pronounce her name, Sarah Barnard, or Juno Dawson. It's also in the chat, so they'll be easier to check. But if you got 3 from that list, you get 3 points. If you got 1, you get 1, etc. Okay, number 2. What is the name of the film released in March, which was adapted from a prize-winning YA dystopia and stars Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley? And that is, of course, Chaos Walking. I say, of course, because I've seen it. So it was an easy one for me, but obviously you might not have gotten that one. Okay, the first emoji answer. 3, name the book. The emojis were child, zombie, and person with magnifying glass. And the answer is Orphan, Monster, Spy by Matt Killeen. Orphan, Monster, Spy. Okay, then number 4. What is the second book in Mallory Blackman's Knots and Crosses series? And the answer is Knife Edge. So number 4 was Knife Edge. Okay, next emoji one. Oh, sorry, was that? Oh, I see, the numbers here switched up. Here we go. Number 5, name the book. Emoji. This one, if you didn't get this one, I think it will be very obvious when I say it. So it was steak and then a building with a 24-hour sign on it. And the answer is Meat Market by Juno Dawson. Lex was pretty close with the never-ending meat house. All right, number 6. The Surface Breaks by Louise O'Neill is based on which Hans Christian Andersen story? The answer to that is The Little Mermaid. We won't be asking everyone for their actual answer list afterwards, so we're gonna have to take everyone's word for it. Okay, number 7. Netflix UK announced it had commissioned a live-action adaptation of which best-selling LGBTQ plus YA graphic novel series in January of this year, and that is Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. So that was number 7. Okay, it's time to reveal the anagram. Okay, one last time. The anagram was Sick Folk Here, Store the Fart Feeler Stare by Samuel Jenner. The answer is The Reckless Afterlife of Harriet Stoker by Lauren James. If you got this one right, please let me know in the chat. Meanwhile, question number 9. What is the name of the YA anthology of stories and poetry from BAME writers, including Tanya Byrne, Katherine Johnson, and Nikesh Shukla, that was published by Little Tiger in 2017? And the answer is A Change Is Gonna Come. And then the final question of round 2 is which crime debut was the best-selling UK YA book, so in the UK, in both 2019 and 2020, and that is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. And that was round 2. So you Gabby says Lauren James is one of their favorite authors, and she didn't get it. It was incredibly difficult. So you get 12 points in total for this round. So please add up your points. And then we're going to continue to, I think, did I say the other round's my favorite round? This one's my favorite round. It's the number round. So this is across all YA, and all the answers will be numbers. So there's going to be multiple choice, it's going to be some open ones, but every time the answer will be a number. Oh, Shannon got 6 out of 12. Not bad, not bad. And Gabby got 8. Excellent work. Cool. Okay. So we're going to go, I think we're going to go straight into round 3, if everyone's ready. Lex has 4 points because they came in late. Probably still have 4 points at the end for unrelated reasons. Well, good news, there is some multiple choice work in round 3, so that might help. These were quite fun to find because you kind of have to do some like reverse searching for these questions, at least on the quiz creator side. Okay, round 3, numbers. Okay. Number of points you can get for this round is 10. Easy. Okay, according to Wikipedia, question number 1, how many weeks did The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas spend as number 1 on the New York Times Young Adult bestseller list? Some of these questions are like tongue twisters. According to Wikipedia, this will be a multiple choice, by the way. According to Wikipedia, how many weeks did The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas spend as number 1 on the New York Times Young Adult bestseller list? The options are 12, 50, or 110. 12, 50, or 110. Question number 2. How many books are there in Holly Bourne's Spinster Club series? This one is not multiple choice. You'll have to come up with the answer yourself. How many books are there in Holly Bourne's Spinster Club series? That is question 2. Okay, round 3, question 3. How many times has the hashtag Bookstagram been used on Instagram in all of its history? How many times has the hashtag Bookstagram been used on Instagram? The options are 7 million, 32 million, or 59 million. So 7 million, 32 million, or 59 million. Question 4. How many languages are Karen M. Mcmanus's, the author of One of Us is Lying, books available in? So how many languages are Karen M. Mcmanus's books available in? The options are, it's multiple choice again, 5, 43, or 124. 5, 43, or 124. Okay, for question 5, A Blast from the Past. What year was Twilight originally published? Not multiple choice, this one. Question 5, what year was Twilight originally published? Okay, so the next one sounds like a trick question for this round, but the answer is still a number. 6. What is the name of Sarah Crossan's verse novel, which won both the YA Book Prize and the Carnegie Medal? What is the name of Sarah Crossan's verse novel, which won both the YA Book Prize and the Carnegie Medal? The answer to that is both the book title and a number. Question number 7. How many years has it been since Noughts and Crosses was first published? How many years has it been since Noughts and Crosses was first published? Okay, for the next question, I had to delve deep into some research to make sure I got this right. And I think I got it right. Question number 8 of round number 3. How many books are there in the Grisha verse by Leigh Bardugo? So that's the world of Shadow and Bone, Six of Crows, etc. So we're counting all fiction, including short story books. Just in case you know all of them. So how many books are there in the Grisha verse by Leigh Bardugo, The World of Shadow and Bone, and Six of Crows? So we're counting all fiction, including short story books. The short story book counts as 1. Okay, and then we're going to end with 2 YA Book Prize themed questions. Answers are still numbers. Question 9, how many YA Book Prize winners have we had so far? Question 9, how many YA Book Prize winners have we had so far? Now, no scrolling up in the chat to look at one of the previous answers. Oh, great. Gabby said they watched the Netflix roundtable thing before this, where Leigh said how many. Well, we can double check if I was right. Okay, final question. This is a hard one. Question 10. How many pages is the YA Book Prize shortlist combined? So we're talking 10 books here. It's a multiple choice one, and the answers are 2,701, 3,120, 3,120, or 3,425. This will also appear in the chat if you want to see those again. So how many pages are there in the YA Book Prize shortlist combined? And because I'm one of the judges, I've read all of them. I know this number very well. Okay, Does anyone need extra time for any of the questions, or are we ready to go to our final answers? All right, I think it's time to go to the answers. So this round, again, you can get 10 points in total. So we're going for a total of 33 points is what you could get for the whole quiz altogether. Okay, number 1. According to Wikipedia, how many weeks did The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas spend as a number 1 on the New York Times young adult bestseller list? It's the tongue twister again. The answer is 50 weeks. Which is just an incredible number. Then round 3, question number 2, the answer was, so how many books are there in Holly Bourne's Spinster Club series? And the answer is 4. Then number 3, how many times has the hashtag Bookstagram been used on Instagram? So we were saying 7 million, 32 million, or 59 million, and the answer was 59 million. That was question number 3. Okay, 4. How many languages are Karen M. Mcmanus's books available in? And the answer to that is 43. And you can find a list of all of those actually on her website, which is where I found the answers. Number 5. What year was Twilight originally published? The answer is 2005. Number 6. What is the name of Sarah Crossan's verse novel, which won both the YA Book Prize and the Carnegie Medal? And the answer is still a number. And that number is, well, it's the word 1. Okay, next one. You might have found the answer to number 7 if you have been following the Special Achievement Award that Mallory Blackman is getting as part of the Y Book Prize. And the question was, how many years has it been since Noughts and Crosses was first published? And the answer is 20. So it's 20 years of the Noughts and Crosses series now. Okay, question number 8. How many books are there in the Grisha verse by Leigh Bardugo, counting all fiction, including short story books? The answer to that is 9. Shannon, you're so close with the Twilight one. I don't know if I would have gotten that one. Okay, question or answer 9. How many YA Book Prize winners have we had so far? And the answer to that is 6. And then the final answer to number 10 was, how many pages is the YA Book Prize shortlist combined? And the answer to that is 3,425 pages. And that was it for round number 3, where you could get 10 points in total. So let us know how you did in the chat, how many points you got. And so this round, it was out of 10, but for the total points, if you're adding them up, it is out of 33. So do let us know once you've added them all up what you got to. I'm just going to wait for those answers to come in. Everyone's doing quick math. Okay, while everyone's doing math, I'm just gonna quickly let you know some last stuff that you might want to know. In case you don't know already. I just said them at the beginning too, but just a repeater. So the winner of the Y Book Prize will be announced next Thursday on May 6th. Very exciting. And the winner will also be doing an event at Hay, but it's an event that you should be able to watch online on June 1st, 11 a.m. with Sarah Crossan. We'll be celebrating Mallory, Blackman, and Nelson crosses all week next week. So if you have some Instagram photos you want to tag the YA Book Prize in, or share your favorite memories, you can join in on Instagram and Twitter. Don't forget to enter our giveaway on Instagram to win the full YA Book Prize shortlist that is running until midnight tonight on Instagram. We have a reading challenge on the Storygraph. There's so many things going on. You can also sign up, especially if you're a blogger or a content creator, you can sign up on the YA Book Prize website. There is a mailing list for all things YA Book Prize related. Okay, let's see how the scores are. So Sam's at 19. Excellent work. Gabby, 6 in that round, 17 overall. And Shannon got 17 overall as well. That is pretty good. It's very hard to imagine how difficult something is going to be. But like I said, I do love a quiz where it's not quite possible to get all of them. Like you would have to, I don't think any, there's some questions in here that even if you would have studied up on YA, you wouldn't have known them. But yes, thank you so much for playing along. If anyone is watching this later when we're no longer live and you're playing the quiz, I hope you enjoyed it. And to everyone that was here, thank you very much. Stick around on the YA Book Prize Twitter and Instagram and chat with us more. And I think that is it for now. So have a lovely rest of the evening, and thank you for playing. Bye.